Hello, I'm back with another episode from Season 2. You get the feeling I like this season yet? While I'm writing the Season 2 ranking, I thought I'd shine a spotlight on a couple of the episodes, and by spotlight I mean talk about them, describe them, say varying things about them. So I hope you like this, and if you do, I'll make more. Thanks. 2 cars in every garage, 3 eyes on every goldfish. Mr. Burns runs for governor in a bid to save his clout after a shocking discovery is made in a river neighbouring the nuclear power plant. I enjoy the episode opening on Bart and Lisa fishing, a top tier sport that doesn't get talked about enough, and with the discovery of a 3-eyed fish causing news-wide discussion, it helps to start this episode off with a grander feeling to it, and considering it was the first episode produced to Season 2, this upping of the scale may not be a coincidence. Also, let's give it up for Blinky ascending to pivotal plot point status after his cameo in Homer's Odyssey. I swear I didn't mean to say that, this isn't another Homer's Odyssey video, I promise. The nuclear plant is inspected for safety and radiation related dangers while we get one of my favourite scenes, a montage of Mr. Burns shaking off any concerns or issues within the plant, with the damage and regulation breaches becoming more and more shocking as Burns' excuses grow less and less convincing. Which leads to, in my opinion, one of the funniest scenes in the season, Mr. Burns attempting to bribe the inspector and upon that not working, tries to force it upon him while calling him stupid.
Look, Smithers, the money and a very stupid man are still here.
When this doesn't succeed and the plant faces jeopardy with $56 million worth of repairs to get it up to code, we get a scene that helps to showcase one of the main things I love about Season 2. I adore how this season looks. There's something about the lighting and the colour palette feeling slightly more vibrant and saturated. It just has such a nostalgic feel to it, such as the scene of Burns crying over the possibility of losing his power plant. These shots stick with me. If I was making another Simpson wave, I'd be tempted to make over half of it just this episode. Homer, while leaving work, discovers Mr. Burns crying in his car. Homer then somewhat accidentally convinces Burns to run for governor, and by doing so will be able to save his plant, causing the episode to become a lovely social commentary on how to run a manipulative campaign. You get exaggerated ad campaigns, true-to-life posters, and an honest sit-down with Mr. Burns as he attempts to downplay the radiation poisoning by consulting the actual actor portraying Charles Darwin. And they imply that the fish being given a third eye may actually be a positive and is nothing more than a miracle of nature, with a taste that can't be beat. Also, I'm obsessed with Burns' hand-in-pocket casual stance when giving Charles the floor. It's wonderful getting to see the layers Mr. Burns is developing as a character. Like, don't get me wrong, I like Season 1 Burns, but in this episode we start to see so much more from him, his love of scheming, his underhanded tactics, and devilish humour. Through the eyes of Blinky, the townsfolk proceed to slowly side with Burns, though when his opponent Mary Bailey says some nice things, while Burns proclaims taxes to be too high and drills. Also, I can't talk about the campaign without mentioning its true highlight. The absolute drip on Smithers here. My boy is rocking the entire Governor Burns catalogue and is a fully kitted out walk-in endorsement. Burns' team decide that the ace in the hole for his campaign is to have dinner with one of his employees, or the common man as it were. Homer is selected and the dinner is of course heavily manipulated in Burns' favour, with pre-planned questions and a rundown of how the family should conduct themselves throughout. The episode centres its main conflict on Homer wanting to appease his boss over fears of losing his job and Marge siding with his opponent Mary Bailey out of not only pre-established loyalty, but to affirm her belief in standing up for what is right as she knows Mr. Burns is unfit for the job and only running to protect his assets, i.e. the plant, causing her and Homer to butt heads continually throughout the episode, but you gotta admit you can see where both are coming from. Marge voices that she would like to feel that she can express herself, which Homer says that she can do through her cooking. Remember that. The dinner commences with Burns being repeatedly attacked by the Simpson pets before sitting down for a casual dinner with a completely unanticipated Q&A. I adore how Burns conducts himself in this scene, displaying a strong voice for the everyman and performing to the back row. Lisa asks her question and leaves midway through Burns' answer as she hates what she has had to do, though Burns still continues to look where she was sitting, which I find funny. Lisa relays her feelings to Marge, who after seeing the face and hearing the words of her daughter says that Lisa is learning many lessons tonight, and one of them is to always give her mother the benefit of the doubt. With this, Marge carries out what turns out to be her trump card, which is to bring the episode full circle with Burns being presented with the same radioactive fish he deemed a miracle of nature and delicious. It is here the final battle of the episode is decided. If Burns can stomach the fish, his campaign has its perfect ending and an assured victory. If not, his campaign might as well conclude there and then. After a tense chew-down, Burns spits out the fish as it flies through the air in an awe-inspiring slow-motion shot with the media present leaving before the fish has even hit the floor, as his campaign is as good as finished. This causes Burns to go on a monstrous rampage while Smithers admires this curtain, before continuing to be poetic and noble in defeat, while walking into the night and swearing a vengeance onto Homer that he will remember. The episode ends with Marge comforting Homer, and the two rekindle with their temporary feud behind them. This episode blows me away with its social commentaries. I'm sure many of us can see parallels between Burns' run for governor and real-life political campaigns of old and recent times, as well as the majority of the plot and scenes heavily referencing and paying homage to Citizen Kane. Then there's the episode's humour, such as Burns attempting to bribe the inspector, the sit-down interview with him and Blinky, the entire dinner scene, and Burns' unrelenting rampage. But equally as impressive for me is its aesthetic. So many shots in this episode I rank among the show's best, and while the episode hardly paints Burns as a sympathetic character, the framing and structure of these scenes make him feel more human than perhaps any other episode. This episode is top tier in every way, and with every episode I rewatch, Season 2 gets harder and harder to rank. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you at some point.